damn near every week. I see some type of quote. If it ain't from Eve, somebody quoting that shit.
I
And
think it's
then
one
because
of the
I'm in my
internet's favorite
Jeezys,
movies. Yeah.
I'm in my Jeezy era. You keep on saying like I'm moving like Chris Tucker at the beginning of Rush Hour 2.
But so here's the Deadline article. And this is a real, like, this isn't from The Onion. It's still on deadline.com. We've confirmed with sources that Paramount is releasing the next Rush Hour sequel from Brett Ratner. So the reason this movie hasn't been made since 2018 is because Brett Ratner was one of the huge,
Mm-hmm.
well, literally huge men taken down in the Me Too movement. Him, Louis C.K., a number of other people, were.
Aziz is sorry, but thank God they shouldn't just execute
Yes.
him.
Yep.
Oh shit, I can't
Yeah.
say that.
Uh, that
Even
one,
if he didn't, even if he did do it, just get rid of him, bro.
no, his was coercion in a way that he he was guilty of trying basically forcing the woman,
What
and it
the
was
fuck?
weird.
She 5'1", 120 pounds. She the same
We're
weight
not
and
gonna.
height
No,
as
no, no, no,
hell.
no. I'm steering us back. I'm sorry. So from Brett Ratner, the studio is distributing on behalf of Warner Brothers for a double-digit percent distribution fee. Intriguing deal at an intriguing time, given that David Ellison owned Paramount, is one of the bidders for Warner Brothers Discovery. That's why it's seeing like what's going on. Paramount wants to release Rush Hour. It's a WB property. David Ellison just bought Paramount. Now he wants to merge Paramount with WB because they're looking for a buyer. That's the only way it makes sense because this Warner Brother Discovery regime has been in the shitter like WWE because David Zaslav is the Triple H of his company running it into the fucking ground.
X is up.
Arguably the studio's first team up since Ellison took over and follows a moment where, oh yeah, Netflix and Comcast were also suitors uh for Warner Brothers Discovery, which Warner's being sold to Netflix kills AEW because
Yeah,
the relationship with WWE
yeah.
would cancel the AEW contract. Comcast, tricky. USA still airs SmackDown and they still
Yeah.
have WWE's library, but they're running these Xfinity ads with WWE wrestlers, so they still want to be in bed with WWE for the time being. They don't care whether or not SmackDown is a big ratings draw because it's on USA instead of NBC, so they can afford to let that be what it is at this point. But I bet they're more scared of losing WWE's archive on Peacock, which is probably how they have a big number of their base percentage of subscribers, to either Netflix, but Netflix has their weird fucked up version of WWE archives now since it's been on their app for the last year and a half for the last year.
This is why Daily
To bring
Motion is y'all friend.
Apparently, a number of studios passed on releasing a new Rush Hour, including Warner Brothers' owned New Line, the architect behind the Jackie Chan Chris Tucker franchise that blasted Brett Ratner's directing career out of the cannon, spawning the trilogy that grossed over $850 million at the global box office. The first Rush Hour movie was in 1998, the second in 2001, and the third in 2007. Tucker and Chan are reportedly back for part four. Ratner was accused of sexual assault by a woman sued for defamation, and he was part of that Rat Pack producing company that Warner Discovery was using a lot in the mid 2010s. I think they produced like The Revenant and a few other things. Rat Pack doing entertainment. I think he was partners with James Packer, who was the man that Mariah Carey was dating after Nick Cannon, if I'm not mistaken.
Damn, she
Um,
know how to pick them, huh? She's with Tommy
but
Mottola at
here's
one
where it
point.
is. Ratner, a linchpin in the Warner Brothers financing entity Rat Pack, which funded a portion of several Slate's titles, recently directed a documentary about First Lady Melania Trump for Amazon MGM Studios that will hit theaters January 30th. Brett Ratner
Wait, go back.
directed a
Wait, wait,
movie.
wait, 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 wait.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Ratner,
Yeah.
a linchpin in Warner Brothers financing entity Rat Pack, which funded a portion of several Slate titles, recently directed a documentary about the First Lady Melania Trump for Amazon MGM Studios that will hit theaters January 30th.
So you
On
want to hold
on
on?
Sunday, Semaphore, citing a person familiar with the conversations, reported that Donald Trump pressed the Ellisons to revive the Rush Hour franchise. How could this be? It was reported in August 2024 that Rush Hour 4, with Ratner as attached as director and producer, was being shopped around. New Line allowed it to be licensed elsewhere, with Tarak bin Ammar retaining rights to make the fourth quote under his Eagle Pictures label. I've never heard. Oh, one of Italy's biggest production distributors. Ah, that overseas money, but not the other kind of overseas money. Ammar connected with Arthur Sarkeesian, the original producer of the Rush Hour movies. It's a big deal to bring the series back to theaters. Many yearn to see the return of the. Yeah, okay. But so that's their way of saying Donald Trump is connected to this because Brett Ratner is making this movie about Melania. So as he's filming him, he's like,
you can't just keep going past that. You gotta talk. You gotta say that one more time for the audience.
Brett, I love Rush Hour. I want you to make a new one. The racism in that movie, it's hilarious. That's what America needs. More racism, more Asian racism. And that guy you have, that Chris Tucker, he makes me laugh.
Davis, I like the Jackie Chan, the Chinese. Very funny guy indeed. The Chris Tucker, kind of loud guy, but I like the
However,
place.
all this makes sense because Trump, Epstein, Brett Ratner, he's been known to associate with gross men who do gross ass shit. So it's not surprising that he allows Brett Ratner to be around his wife. Like he gives a fuck about the bitch anyway to make this movie about her.
But that's what I'm saying. You went past that twice, and I was trying to go back to that, but I'll
a
let you finish
documentary
your
about
point.
Melania Trump. Like, what's the point of it?
You're forgetting no. You're forgetting the key point. In theaters, what type of motherfucking government jurisdiction do we live under? You gonna let the fucking first lady get a documentary in the theaters? Motherfucking I was about to say a different name. Michelle Obama got a goddamn didn't get no documentary. The great Viola Davis played her.
And that whack ass Showtime show, yeah.
Why the fuck is you giving this Russian broad a motherfucking documentary in theater?
You just answered your question.
Who gonna sit through that shit? That shit better be 30
No
minutes.
one. That's the point. It's like how
What's her backstory? You know her backstory? Please, somebody tell me her backstory.
Of course not. She in Mother Russia.
She was home.
Gun shoot you. Yeah, the typical shit. I bet she was modeling at 14, married at 17, and then boom.
14 and a half married. Because that's what they do in Eastern Europe.
It's just crazy that he's telling David Ellison, like, hey, make the fourth Rush Hour. And David Ellison's like, okay, yeah.
Wait, but my thing is, does Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan know? And if they know how much, they probably
they know when they'll get $200 million checks, they'll know.
But then this is the thing with Chris Tucker. It's going to make you look contradictory.
Okay, that's what I really wanted to ask you about. So Chris Tucker's whole career, post the third Rush Hour, he's been in a few. He was in Silver Linings Playbook. He was in a movie that is leads to our next topic, Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. He was in that, and I think he might have had one or two Netflix stand-up specials. But
no, he had one, and it was pretty funny, and he was cussing like a motherfucker. I was confused.
Well, as I say, like, so wasn't he one of these people I hate, which is fake reformed? You know, the Lord saved me and my, sin.
Hey man, leave Shawn Michaels alone. Bret Hart already said
anyone. I can name real people too if you want. But
hey man, shuts up.
But yeah, like because this is famously why the long digesting Friday sequel never. Friday sequel was smoky, I should say. No disrespect to Mike Epps and why that sequel never took place is it seemed like Chris Tucker was the one, saying like, no, I'm good. No, I'm good. No, I'm good.
By the way, they're writing it now, finally, after 25 years.
But as we just talked about on Tangents last week, like these long delayed sequels was a thing of the 2010s. Like Rush Hour kind of had its time, could have had its time then. But when I said that Top Gun 2, don't forget it was basically supposed to come out in 2020. We documented documented this on the show the whole time, is now released in 2022 instead. But it was part of that era in the 2010s when all these projects were being greenlit. And I think at the time, this was when that was always kind of in the like on the rumored to be announced slate was Rush Hour 4. It was just like, and that's when Jackie Chan was doing kind of exclusively movies in China or like movies that you had no idea were coming out. Like he did one with not Billy Bob, Billy Ray Cyrus was in one. He did another one where like
Wait,
he
Achy
was,
Breaky Heart was in a movie with him?
yeah, yeah.
Where was
I
I?
think, yeah. And he did, and then don't forget, he did the Saudi funded movie with John Cena that was filmed a decade ago and was
That we
only
talked
released
about.
two, and was only released 2 years ago. Um, yeah. So
You
Chris
want to
Tucker,
talk
yeah.
about the
Why?
plot?
Well, how much does in taxes does Chris Tucker owe still? Like,
Dog, he's still on tax. He gotta get out the country. Come on, man. It's been 20 years, dog.
I
I'd
only
rather go
say
to
like the
jail.
reason it makes sense to finally do is because like obviously these gigs since 2007 haven't been panning out. Like I mentioned, like he hasn't been in a lot of shit, and it's not like Chris Tucker couldn't have just took like an easy role on an NBC sitcom and been fine. Like if he wanted to keep his wholesome act up, like he could have just been, excuse
Yeah.
me, some comedic relief type of character where he showed up 2-3 times an episode and dipped. Like he could have been the neighbor in fucking Home Improvement, sitting over the fence. What you doing over there? Like,
Or that
like
show was Cedric the Entertainer. He could have been in that.
yeah, he could have been in anything. But does he tour regularly? Like is like the is was he doing what Chappelle was doing post the Chappelle show, just like being a working comic and then deciding to get
Yeah.
back into the limelight? Okay,
All I do when he's on social media, all I do is see him drive around, going to church in his Ferrari,
see, like
golfing,
what
listening to Michael
already?
Jackson.
Like, I mean,
But my thing is, so
seems
this is what it's gonna come down to. If he does this movie, people gonna be like, because it was a name in the book, that playbook with the people that's cool with Trump. It was a name in 2020. I ain't forget that name. And
you
yeah,
talk about the list.
yeah. Apparently he was on there. That was 2020. All right, so I'm gonna say this. If he does this, people gonna be like, hold on. But if
I
he
think
also does
that he
this,
was on that list. I mean, on those flights to be comedic relief. I don't think he was partaking. I think I'm not defending the man again. You can't just defend someone outright, but it would make sense if he was there
how
to
you
like
get cool with them to get on the flight though? And where you
based
going?
off
You
I'm saying
telling jokes on the island
based
of
off
Dr.
Trump
Moreau?
order. Yeah, based off Trump ordering this, they have to be cool. I mean, he probably like Chris. Anytime you stay at the Trump Plaza, it's on me. Don't worry about it. You know,
But also too, this the main thing people gonna look at him sideways about. That should be number one. But the main thing is, oh, so you gonna do this movie, but you ain't gonna do
yeah,
Rush Hour. You ain't gonna do Last Friday.
yeah. And
That's what.
first of all, you can't say that based on Ice Cube's politics.
What's his politics?
Well, he wasn't kind of he didn't hold Snoop and them to the fire when they were performing. I think he would have gone if they had asked him. Ice Cube's just about getting the bag as much as Snoop Dogg is.
But at the same time, he not holding himself out like Snoop.
He did that War of the Worlds remake that everyone laughed at. I think he whores himself out.
I well, in a way, okay. So I think we're messing up on what we're saying, but
Probably
we
in
in
a more
agreement.
all right. I'll say he probably
He
whores
ain't a
himself
two
out
dollar
in a
hooker.
he
Let's just
probably
say
puts
that.
himself out in a working capacity, whereas Snoop Dogg will just do anything, which was my point that that's how corporations like to use Snoop Dogg as the token black man to
Well,
use to sell your
Tupac told
products.
people this 20 some years ago, and they just said, huh. Dash keep telling people the great Marion White, Suge Knight keep telling people this. And everybody like, huh? He keep talking about him and Drake, but I digress. But no,
Do
I
you
get what you mean.
think? And I saw like apparently Snoop Dogg felt heartbroken that Sally Richardson
It's a
was
lie.
riff. Like, what chance did you have? Like, it's Tupac.
He's
Like,
he's a fucking liar. He's been known to be a liar. His own flesh and blood, his cousin, first cousin, Daz keeps saying he's a liar. Everybody's been saying for years he's a liar. He's a fucking liar. I told people years ago, just like Triple H, Snoop and Triple H are some lying
Well,
motherfuckers.
why do you think he always works with them, huh?
The only thing is one is 230 pounds now because he off the juice, and the other one is 120 pounds and got CT from smoking weed. All right, they both of them those motherfuckers are habitual line stepper liars. The
Right, but to bring it back, like I said, will people look at Chris Tucker a certain way?
yes.
Yes, no, and here's why: because our society is built around the internet, and the internet is about two things: being real and getting the bag.
Wait, you
So,
said the internet is real? Get it?
no, I'm saying our society is run by the internet, and the internet only cares about two things: whether you're real, in terms of whether you stand by
Do
shit.
they?
Which,
Does the
yeah,
internet
so
care
then,
if you
so
real?
then when you don't, they can hold you to the fire
Okay.
after. And then the second is getting the bag. So Chris Tucker's going to
Ain't
do
the-
one of those things and get shit on for not doing the second. If Chris Tucker turns down the movie, people are going to get mad. You idiot! You gave up 200 easy million. When all you had to do is just make a stupid fucking movie.
My
But if
thing
he does it,
is,
it's he's a sellout. He was never for the cult. All that same shit we hear time and time again when people do the same fucking thing. I
they
think.
said they said we ain't for the culture.
But my point is, white people do this shit all the time. Chris Tucker should get his pass. I'm not happy he's getting his pass courtesy of the man in the White House. But still, at the end of the day, that's the real equality, is getting
I
the
think he
same
should do both.
opportunities.
Why not? If you want to, why not just do both? If you want to appease people, you win with the rush or the last Friday.
He
If you want
won't.
to get paid
There's
too, do
something
that.
about him that doesn't want to do that movie. Whether it's were there ever rumors of him and Ice Cube having a falling out, or is it
No,
strictly
he just
just that
said the
type of
money.
material?
He said the money because they
That's sort of
barely
like
got paid. But now I'm like, dog, I think they got the budget
at
for you.
any point post 2001, post the second Rush Hour, they could have given him any type of deal based off the fact that, again, these movies, and maybe it's a thing where like Ice Cube is the one saying like, no, fuck that, he doesn't get any. You're not giving him 10 million and giving me six. Maybe that's the case at the end of the day, because a studio knows damn well like if Ice Cube's gonna have approval of who gets what, because he's a producer as well, then he's not going to sign